All right, what's up, everybody? How are you guys? So good to see all your beautiful faces. I recognize some of your faces as well. I see you on IG and I flip through your stuff. So I am in a little bit of pain right now, so I'm going to try to do my best to be cohesive and make sense. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to post them in the chat and I will answer as many as possible. I do have a team call at 9, so we're going to get right at this. Just to kind of level the playing field a little bit, I'd like to do this before I dive into content, because I feel like it will help somebody understand that I didn't always start like this. About 6 years ago, I was sitting at home, bored, lonely, depressed, stay-at-home mom with little ones, and decided that I needed something different. And so I had seen an infomercial for Insanity, which was kind of funny because I was on Shanti's live today, which was so nerve-wracking. I don't get nervous, like, ever. I've been on stage in front of Summit. I've worked out on stage with Autumn, Joel. I don't get nervous, but Shanti, I was like, oh, sweating, crazy. But anyways, he changed my life. That was where this all began. And I took a risk on myself and decided to jump in on my health and fitness journey. And I started and stopped a million times, and this light's really bright, so let me turn that. I started and stopped a bazillion times and thought, this sucks, I can't do this. Got on my phone and saw that, there was some Beachbody community. It was actually the message board. And I was like, hey, what are these people doing? This is cool. So I reached out to this girl. She had 2 kids the same age as mine. And I emailed her. You're welcome, Lori Randall. Just kidding. I emailed my coach, and she said, are you on Facebook? I said, yes. So I became Facebook friends with her. She put me in a challenge group, and that's where I was like, that's where the light bulbs went off. That's where I saw all the missing pieces. I already had exactly what I needed to get healthy and fit. I had the program, I had the nutrition. I even had Shakeology. Like, I went and bought 2 bags of Shakeology with no coach, because some coaches' blogs said you were supposed to do that. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. So I went and bought 2 bags, because Insanity is 60 days and I wanted 2 bags. It wasn't even on auto ship. I was like, just send me 2 bags. Anyways, I plugged into my challenge group every single day. It was filling my heart up with all the things that I had been missing in terms of the accountability, the community piece of it. I got excited every day to jump in there. I used to tell myself I wasn't allowed to work out until I wasn't allowed to get in a group until I worked out. Like, it was a part of my reward for working out. And so I try to really hold on to that piece as tightly as possible when I talk on my social media. And I'm going to cover that a little bit tonight, because that is where a lot of people are. And I want to make sure I'm speaking directly to that girl, and not necessarily to where I am now on my health and fitness journey. So I got 7 weeks into Insanity, signed up to become a coach. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, that sounds kind of cool. Like, I'm already telling my coach about girls that I think that would have a fun time in this challenge group. And she's like, well, have you ever thought about maybe doing what I do in coaching? I'm like, no, but I would love it, because I was already authentically changed from the inside out, and the outside was starting to show it was changing on the inside. Like, I wanted every single mom to feel the way I felt with little ones, and finally looking at my body in the mirror and going, yes, I'm slaying it. I'm so excited. And so I signed up to become a coach. And the first thing she said was, you need to hit Emerald, you need to hit Success Club, and you need to be at Summit. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And she broke it all down for me and explained it. But I did, one thing that I will put a plug in for is Summit. You guys, you got to get the Summit. Like, it's crucial for your business. I signed up for Summit. I flew to Las Vegas from Virginia. Now, I'm a small town South Carolina girl, so flying to Vegas was a big deal for me. Especially flying to Vegas to see my coach, who I had no clue who she was. All I knew is she was Mormon. I was like, Mormons are really nice. Like, they're the people that come to your door, like, help you move. So she's not going to murder me in my sleep, right? So I flew to Vegas, and I stayed at the MGM Grand with this girl named Lori that I met online. And we had a great time. And I remember sitting like up in the MGM nosebleeds, thinking to myself, like, oh my gosh, all these people walking across stage, sitting in these little cute chairs down on the floor, like, I want to be there. Like, I am just as normal as all these other people that are sharing their stories and their testimonies. I can do this too. So I got home and I was like, I can do this too. I don't know what I'm doing. All I know is the products work for me. I don't think any mom should suffer on their health and fitness journey, or even their identity and who they are as a woman. I don't want anybody to ever feel like they're lost in motherhood. And so those things came back with me, and I was like, all right, I'm going to figure this ish out. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to figure it out. And so dove right in and decided to treat this business like I was a freaking billionaire, and I wasn't. I was making like $40 paychecks. Let's just be real. And so I went all in and treated it like $8 million business. And 6 years later, living here oceanfront in Florida, an incredible team. I see a few of my leaders on the call. Friendships that I could never, ever, ever have placed into my life if I wasn't a coach. Like, Ren is on this call. I would have never have known Ren and her babies and her now husband if I wasn't a part of coaching. And so that alone, that story alone, I hope that that kind of motivates you a little bit. One, to get your booty to summit, right? Two, to treat this like $1 million business, even if you're making $40 paychecks, because it will pay off and it will become $1 million business if you treat it that way. I'm a firm believer in the way you act and treat is the direction you're going to go. And so two things that I like to give as a major, like, if you don't get anything out of this call with all the technical pieces of it that I'm going to give you, two things I want you to take away. If you're walking towards success with 2 feet, 1 foot is learning, evolving, and growing. And that's kind of what we're going to go over tonight with learning Instagram and all the ins and outs of that. And the other foot is taking massive freaking action. That's what I'm really good at. This one I suck at. I don't like learning. I don't like stopping for a YouTube video because I can go sell 3 challenge packs, so I watch that video. Like, that's my mindset. But the problem is you really do need both simultaneously to have massive success. Can you be kind of successful with both, with just doing one? Maybe, but what you're going to see is if you're just, how many of y'all have signed a coach and all they do is watch YouTube videos, learn, create lists, blah, blah, like they don't ever take action. You're just going to go in a circle if you only use that foot. And then you have somebody who like me, which I've done this before, massive action, don't take time to freaking learn, do some personal development, maybe get better at your invites, get better at your posting. You'll go in a circle as well. But if you're using both, you're going to move forward and you're going to be successful in your business. All right. I'm sweating. I swear, like, am I going through menopause? Like, do you go through menopause at 38? I'm like, I'm sweating, my back hurts, I got like menstrual cramps. Are there dudes on this call? I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I'm like having a body meltdown right now. Anyways, all right, digging in. I noticed about 2 years ago that I was really getting bored on Facebook. And one of the reasons, not just bored, but also felt like it was a really toxic place. And it was probably had a lot to do with the election. They got a little cray-cray around the Trump election, right? And like people were like hating each other that had been best friends their whole life. And you're like, what the heck is wrong with you guys? Stop it. Okay, we have differing opinions, but we're still human beings and we still need to love each other. Thank goodness for coaches, because everybody was pretty tame on the coaching realm because we do PD. But Facebook became a really toxic place for me. I felt icky when I got on there. I got frustrated when I got on there. I started reading like debates and stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta like get out. Another thing that happened, I was driving my babysitter home, and I had asked her, hey girl, networking, hey girl, you on Facebook? And she's like, no. And I'm like, what? Why not? She's like, that's for old people. I'm like, oh. Maybe I am going through menopause and I'm old. No, but I was like, okay, what do you want? She's like, I'm on Twitter and Instagram. I'm like, okay. So I knew as an entrepreneur that I needed to like take note of that. And I knew that I was feeling frustrated with Facebook. So I had to adjust my sales and learn, use the other foot. Instead of just taking massive action on Facebook, I had to go learn IG. And so tonight I want to share with you some things that I've learned, some best practices. And I am like madly in love with that platform because it's such an incredible place to connect with people you wouldn't know. And let's just talk about IG stories for a second. Oh my gosh. You guys, you can create a warm market without even knowing that, Courtney from Kansas City is watching you. Like most people who watch me know what kind of car I drive. How many people know I drive a Jeep? Yeah, y'all don't watch me on the Insta stories. Go follow me. Come on now. Just kidding. Most people that follow me, they know I drive a Jeep. They know what my kids' names are. They know that I live in Florida. They know that I'm about to buy a dog. They know I have hair extensions. I like eyelashes. Like they know Jatana. And a lot of them, I don't know who they are. So it's really cool because back in the day when we first started coaching, we had to like form people and we had to like get to know people and have these long in-depth conversations. And when I start into a conversation with somebody on IG, they're like, hey girl, yeah. Like they already know what I'm about. And so if you're not leveraging that to like build a warm market with people that you wouldn't know otherwise, you're shooting yourself in the foot because it's amazing. Okay, so here's a little technical difficulty. I'm going to share my screen. I have a Canva presentation. I paid $3 just now for it, like get all the crap off of it, and it still wouldn't do it. So we're just going to roll with the punches here because that's what we do. She was like, do you need to reschedule because you're not feeling it? I'm like, no, girl. Boss babe gets on it no matter what. I work this business even when I don't feel like it. So another thing, side note, if you're OCD, don't look at my screen because I have no organizational skills whatsoever. Once you go 2-star, you need to hire an assistant because that is exactly what I did in She Rocks My World, and this is what my desktop looks like. Don't y'all be reading all my stuff. I'm just kidding. All right, let's see if we can make this work. If it doesn't, we're gonna roll with it anyways. Unless y'all are like, Jatana, duh, you did it wrong. And I wouldn't be surprised by that either. All right, present. It's going to tell me to pay for it. I already did. Should I click it again? Or should I just push preview present? The only problem is it was black when I pulled it up. See, that looks retarded. Can you guys still see that? Yeah, you're going to be okay? All right. Yeah, it's kind of crappy. Most of the talking is going to be helpful, I promise. All right, so one thing I want to tell you guys before we start really digging into IG is, you guys, about a year and a half ago, I was at 1,200 followers. I think I'm at 180,000 now. On average, about 20,000 views a day on my stories. And the reason why, and I'm going to teach you how I've gotten there, I have outsourced it now, so I'm very upfront. I'm an open book. I've outsourced it now because it's too much for me to keep up, but I do some very core activities every single day that have been continuing to grow my organic following and move my business forward. So, hey girl, having followers does not mean you have community. Having followers does not mean you have community. What you are shooting for when you are building a following is building your people, your community of people that just get you. I'm not talking about your challengers and your coaches. Yes, they'll be on there. I'm talking about people who just love following you for you and your life. Building an organic following through the strategy of storytelling. And I'm going to share with you about what that looks like from my perspective. And then I want to make sure that you understand that your influence, your ability to influence people is your income. So you're not just on there to like talk about little Johnny playing soccer and, oh, you did your workout today. No, are you on there to influence action? Because if you can influence action, it's going to directly reflect in your income. And we always say our income, it depends on how many, or your income is a direct reflection of the lives that you are changing. So I have no like guilt in saying that. It's totally a wonderful thing to celebrate. So kind of digging in here, let's go straight into the presentation. You can't build a transaction, but you can build a community. Like you can't force it. You can't just post and it's going to happen. But if you post with intention, if you do stories with intention, you will build a community. I don't know how many people I have that tag me with Jeeps that they've driven by on the highway. I'm like, thanks. Or they'll be in the Target parking lot, like, hey, look at the Jatana Jeep, and they like tag me in it. Or they are using my Spotify playlist, and they post in their stories that they're using my Spotify playlist. Or, okay, I got some hate today about this one, but apparently people don't like that I use solo cups for my pre-workout and for my, I don't like doing dishes. And then I got environmentalists. I'm sorry, like if you're an environmental person, I'm going to get better at this. I bought a glass, like metal straw, and I'm going to get like a mason jar, and I'm going to make it a thing. And then everybody's going to go buy metal straws and glass things and make it a thing, because that's what I create, things, apparently. But for a while there, I had people like tagging me in their solo cup picture, like creating this culture of people who are like excited about being a part of what you do. Sorry, I heard a weird noise. Inside communities is where repeated transactions happen and loyal clients are found. So we're going to kind of dig in deeper, but I'm glossing over real quick. Things we're going to talk about is commercial versus show. That's like, this is a major aha moment that I had when I was out in San Diego. And I presented this, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is it right here. This is what all the coaches are missing. How others view you, content creation. I'm going to talk about curiosity marketing, how to be a ninja with products, and about not being vanilla in some of my favorite apps. And actually, I have some new ones that aren't on this presentation that I want to share with you. This one is from San Diego. Okay, so let's go with shows versus commercials. So I just got into this condo, and I have cable connected to our condo, I guess, like came with it. And we had never had cable. I actually canceled my cable to become a coach. And so I sat down with my kids, and I was like, hey kids, look, let's turn on the TV. And I'm like clicking through the channels. And my kids are like, Mom, like, we have to really go through 1,100 channels to find Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon. And like, yeah, that's what you do. Look, oh, there's the news. Let's find the channel. It's 11:20. So whenever you get on TV, remember 11:20 and hit enter, and you can watch cartoons. And they're like, that's so stupid, Mom. Are you serious? Like, what is this? I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, we watch YouTube. Like, can you get YouTube on here? And I'm like, no, you don't watch YouTube when you watch cartoons. You watch TV to watch cartoons. Nope, not this day and age. How many people's kids watch those weird, like, they test food together, and then they like play pranks or Nerf wars, and like they're very dramatic. And I'm like, oh my God, turn that off. Anyways, my kids are all about some Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, all those things. And so are we as adults. And so I kind of took note of that, and I was like, you know what? We do. We live in this world of like instant gratification, and we do not want to sit there and wait through 16 like Lego and the girly baby commercials where my kids are like, ew, they're playing like Girl Glitter, My Little Pony commercials. I don't want to watch this. They don't want to sit through that. They want their show. And I'm getting to a point here, because what I'm seeing when I watch other coaches' stories who are really struggling in this area is a whole bunch of commercials. Meaning a whole bunch of like, click, 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 click. Can we just get past this to get to the storyline again? Because I need the storyline. And so I'm going to share with you how to do a good balance of both so that you can keep your audience's eyes on you. You can continue to have repeated followers where they always come back to check your stories. If I go MIA, I get messages from strangers in the morning, and they're like, I'm having my coffee and you're not here. Where are you? And I'm like, I decided to take a break from stories today. And they're like, nah, like you're my entertainment in the morning when I drink my coffee. I'm like, that's awesome. So basically, don't be the tap, 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 swipe left kind of girl. Okay. You want to be able to captivate people where they're like, okay, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Let's keep watching the storyline. And then you'll learn how to integrate your commercials into your story so that it's just not a bunch of stinky commercials. All right. I'm going to break that down here in a second. Commercials are randomness. That's kind of how I see it. Me taking a picture of the beach, random. me scanning that there was a rocket launch tonight that didn't end up get launched. It's getting launched tomorrow. Random, right? The random stuff in your life. It's what people usually sometimes fast forward through. It's why DVRs were created, because people don't want to watch them. And they really have very little depth. Those are the cons to your story commercials. Pro for them, it's an emotional relief, right? Like, okay, you're talking about your challenge group, you're talking about the coaching opportunity, and then, oh, by the way, little Johnny runs in with no pants on. You're like, oh my gosh, she's in, you know, and it's a emotional relief from what you're doing. And that's what it is for TV or any Hulu things that you watch. Commercials are supposed to be that relief. And it can add value sometimes, but what I'm seeing a lot of coaches do is they just do a lot of random. Oh, by the way, I worked out. Random. Oh, here's my shake. And it's confusing. Your story is your show, and it's your journey. It's your customer's journey. It's your team. That is your show, and that can look different for different people. And I'm going to give you an example of one, but it should have a beginning, a middle, and end. And when I say your show or your story, I'm talking about like really digging into an emotional experience as somebody watches 7 stories go through. And let me show you what that looks like. I did this one like super basic because I wanted a brand new coach to see this presentation and go, okay, I can do that. I can type in typewriter font and write some words on a picture. Cool. But we all know there's lots of fancy apps. You can make it really more elaborate than this, but this is like bare bones. Okay. And that's okay to start there as you get better with IG and all the fun things that you can do on there, but at least start somewhere. So telling your story multiple times, whether it's like, you know, one day a week, you're going to tell your coaching story. One day a week, you're going to tell your weight loss story. Oh, and then you're going to tell your story, your mindset story, your financial story. There's all these stories that you could be sharing throughout your week. Why am I getting like a bazillion text messages? I don't know. All right, so here is one of mine that I shared. 26 years ago, I graduated top of her college class, successful banking job. That's me, looking like Pam from The Office. Legit, not like Pam from The Office. Drive through and Starbucks daily. Okay, people in my audience will probably look at that and say, I can relate to that. Yeah, so I get Starbucks every day and I go to my corporate job. Cool. The next story after that was I looked in my marker covered mirror, drawings of happy boys. Super relatable. But mama was tired, lonely, and not happy. That's super relatable. So a lot of moms would see this story and be like, oh my gosh, that's me right now. That's exactly how I feel. Next story, stepped into my stay-at-home mom shoes, feeling like I didn't crush my career goals. Picture me kind of embodying what I was trying to say. Thankful for my healthy babies and mom life, but I knew I had more in me. And then the next slide goes into Jatana, like just starting out on her fitness journey. I took a chance on me, and I quickly learned that I wasn't taking care of myself. I pushed my dreams aside to go all in with motherhood, and that's okay. But now is the time to start filling my bucket. And then kind of an after picture of where I was when I posted this. Results, I can slay life, motherhood, and career all while taking care of me. Yes, I fill my bucket so I can fill others. That's crushing life. I mean, as this is super basic, you know, people like Bailey who do these like fancy pants stories that I can't even do yet. Don't feel like you have to have those fancy ones. This one right here will capture my target market's eyes and heart like no other. It doesn't have to be fancy, because my girl, the girl that I'm speaking to, the Jatana 6 years ago, will read this and go, oh shoot, I'm at like slide 3. Like I'm still questioning whether or not I'm like happy kind of thing. And so this is something that I encourage you to maybe write down on some sort of list. What are all your transformations? Are your physical, your financial, your emotional, your friendships, like you didn't have friends before, now you have a whole team of friends. You've never traveled before, now you travel all the time. There's all these stories that you can tell, and sharing it on a regular basis. Give yourself some sort of, you know, schedule. If it's 3 days a week, I'm going to make sure I'm intentionally sharing a story. I think that that's really important. There are a lot of women who are in your reality. And when you realize that, when you're like, oh, there's a lot of people like me who went through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru, drove a minivan, sat and watched, recorded Good Morning America while her baby napped, and then got back up after I ate my 4-count chicken mini with a large sweet tea, no ice, hash browns, and one of those oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. And then I get back in my minivan, and I would drive and pick up my preschooler, and then I come home, and I'm like, oh, crap, I forgot something at the store. Then I go buy food at the store, come home, make dinner. I'm exhausted, right? All that changed up. Obviously, I stopped eating the Chick-fil-A. I stopped driving the minivan because I bought a Jeep with my beach body money. And I started filling my Good Morning America time with my workout. Wow, things changed and my life started to change. But there are women in that reality. When I can like specifically share that story in detail in my stories and bring somebody along on that journey, and you can do it in a post as well. But in stories, it's really cool because you can really unfold it in front of their eyes and help them feel it like you would on freaking Grey's Anatomy. People write back and they're like, oh my gosh, you just spoke to my heart. Like, that's where I am. I need your help. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. Here's my credit card. Help me. I'm just kidding. But don't just show the solution. Show them how the solution played out. Don't just show your workouts every day. Show them how it played out. That's going to speak way more than you saying, I did Transform 20 day 13 today and I feel amazing. They want to see how it played out from the beginning, and they want to see where they're at now and how you got to where you are now. All right, some of my Superfly story tips. Oh, let me go into this real quick. If you guys have not taken this test, this will like rock your world. How many of you guys have anybody taken this? Oh my God. Okay, somebody, who's shaking their head? Yes. Matherly Muscles. She shook her head. Yes. Anybody else taking it? Wow, there's a lot of y'all on here. Where'd y'all come from? I can only see like the column on the side, so I can only do like 5 people right now. But this test basically tells you how people best perceive you. So it tells you what your brand is. I feel like every coach should do this as soon as they sign up as a coach, like figure out what your brand is, because you can communicate so much more effectively and more impactfully. Is that a word? I don't know, but you can have a bigger splash and a bigger bang for your buck if you know what your brand is. And so for me, mine is the People's Champion. If you sign a People's Champion, by the way, they're rock stars. Just kidding. No, but for the People's Champion, my strong point is energetic, fun, smiley, like dancing in your face, dynamic, inclusive, engaging. That's where people love Jatana. What they don't like is my weak one, which is mystique. And this is the other piece I love about it. They tell you how people don't best perceive you. Like when you're in this realm based on your personality, they don't receive it well. Have you ever had somebody says you're like resting bitch face? And they're like, she's not very nice. But yet somebody super timid and quiet can still be like the sweetest little pie thing in the world. And you're like, she's being just as quiet as I am. Why you call me a bee? Right? It's because people don't perceive you well when you're that way. And so the best example I can use, and I use this at Summit, and I'm sorry if you've heard it, but it is the best way I can describe it. Freaky Friday moment, Melanie Mitro and Jatana Jackson switch places. And if you watch my story, I'm dancing, I'm loud, I'm singing, I'm acting retarded, I'm talking about poop. Like I am just like out there. If I were to get on my stories and talk about, look, I have checklists and it still got saran wrap on it, okay? I love Courtney Johnson. Like she is just like the fact that she's smiling, laughing, clapping, you're my girl. So if I were to jump on my stories with this pin out of the package and go, all right, today we're going to talk about Business Tip Tuesday, and I'm going to teach you how to best organize your day as a mom. My audience would be like, what are you talking about, Jatana? Are you going to like do some shimmy and twerking while you do that? Because this is not you. Vice versa, if Melanie Mitro you're on Melanie's stories, she's like, all right, what's Melanie doing today? Because she's like the top coach in the network. I want to see what she's got going on. You get on her stories, and the first story you see is, wow, Matt, get my shake going. And she's got country girl shaking going, and she's on the countertops. Yeah, I've been like, oh my God, what's going on? What's wrong with Melanie? Is she on something right now? And you probably forwarded it to all your friends, like, look at Melanie, she lost her mind, right? Because that is not her brand. And the reason why I say that analogy or example and why it's so important, because I see so many coaches who follow what other top coaches do, and it's not in their brand. It's awkward. So what I want you to do sometime this week, tonight, is take this quiz and read through your results and find out, how do people best perceive you, and stay in that wheelhouse, because it will be so much more impactful in your stories than if you were to try to act like somebody else because it was successful. Because I'm successful in what I do, and Melanie's successful, obviously, in what she does, but we do it totally different. And so figure out what that is for you. And I think it's like $55 or something to buy the full thing. I recommend it. It's a tax write-off. Do it. I don't get any like perks for saying that. I'm just telling you that I think that it's valuable. All right. This is just real quick. I'll kind of scan through it because it's very, very simplified, but just there's a lot of things that you can do. I encourage you to sit down and write out some content ideas for your story. I just gave you a whole bunch with storytelling, all the aspects of your journey, coaching and being a challenger, all the aspects of that, those transformations, you need to be listing them out. And I probably come up with 13 transformations for myself. Minivan to Jeep, just depending on my husband's income, to like having a booming business with multiple six figures coming in. No friends to lots of friends. Long freaking roots growing out to like always popping my hair whenever I feel like it, right? There's all these transformations, and they can be stories, really in-depth, heart-tugging stories that people can relate to. Write those out and come up with that content. You guys, polls are amazing. Polls are fantastic because it's a great way to engage with your audience, asking them questions. Doing a Q&A is incredible. Do like a, what do you want to know Wednesday? And have people ask you questions. Or maybe ask them, what is it that makes you hesitant about coaching? Ask me and I'll answer it live. I'm not going to I won't tell you who asked me, but I will answer it live for you. And people will ask you questions. And sometimes the people that ask you questions, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know she was like thinking about it or paying attention to it. So make sure you're using those features that IG gives you. And I'm pretty sure they reward you algorithm-wise when you're using their features. IGTV, it's a must. So make sure you are doing some IGTV. And you guys know you can do the preview where it goes onto your wall, which is really cool. So make sure you're using those features as well. Quality, some of my top tips, quality over quantity. I don't know how many times I've watched stories where I'm like, oh my gosh, she's talking forever. Like 7, 8, 9, 10 stories of the same topic. Don't do that. You're losing people's attention. There's only a few people in this world that can talk that long. Shalene Johnson's pretty good at it. She will talk for like 15 stories about something. You're like, even sometimes with Shalene, I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, stop, move on, next topic. Be cohesive. If a rando were to rando, is that a word? Random person were to get onto your stories, would they kind of get a gist for what's going on in your life based on just popping on? Be really consistent on your brand, going back to that brand quiz that I told you about. Be consistent in that area. Create engagement. Ask your audience to give you feedback on something. Like, I'm getting a puppy and I'm going to leverage the mess out of that cute little stinker. And I'm going to want to know, what's the best dog food? What's the best harness? How can I potty train? What's crate train? Which training do you guys recommend? And people are going to be messaging me like crazy. And it's a great way to engage on a totally different topic. Mom life. Hello. Y'all have a lot to talk about with mom life. Now be okay with people's like, you shouldn't be using a plastic cup because you're ruining the environment. It's going to happen. And I live by the ocean. I respect the environment. I'm going to go get a glass mason jar and it's going to be super cute. Avoid talking forever in your stories. Keep people's attention, meaning have visuals. There's nothing worse than like 15 boomerangs in a row. No, don't do that. A still shot, a video, a boomerang, a super zoom. Oh my gosh, super zooms over and over again. What's up with the heart super zoom? Do you guys think that sounds like porn music? It's like, wait, I can't even do it. It's hilarious. I'm like, every time I hear it, I'm like, ooh, like you're looking at that and that sound's coming out of your phone. It's weird. Be unique with your stories. Like change it up some daily. Don't like feel like it's got to be the same rhythm all the time. And I will say have a structure as well. Make sure you have a few key things that you want your audience to take action on, meaning I want people to buy bod from me. So I'm going to use bod every day. I want people to buy my shakes. I'm going to talk about my shake every day. I want people to use Energize. I'm going to talk about my Energize every day. I'm going to share with you how to best talk about that and how to do product placement without being a freaking salesperson. All right. Few fun things. Oh, this is the main thing on this page that I really, two main things on this page. Geotagging should happen every single story. And it's jacked up like this. It should be really pretty and white with lots of details, but I'm having problems. But I'll just talk it out for you. Geotag everything. You don't have to geotag where you're located. If you're weirded out by that, you can geotag freaking Nebraska and live in Florida. And you can actually see who's viewing or how many viewers you're getting from, or how many viewers are in that location. So if you see Nebraska has 32 viewers, yet you tag Toronto and they have 560 viewers, then obviously Toronto is a hot spot. It is a hot spot, by the way. That's one of my #1 spots that I like to tag. And I hate cold weather, so I don't know why I'm tagging Toronto, but I am. Maybe they'll see my beach stuff and be inspired by it. Another thing is putting that little ring around your picture. Basically what you do is I can give you this ring, it's no big deal, or I can post it in that graphic chat, and you pop your picture in it, and then you make it your profile picture, and as you can see, it has a double ring. It makes it stand out, makes people feel like they haven't watched it yet, especially non-coaches. They're like, okay, I'll watch it again, and then they really do. They'll watch it through it again. So those were two little things that I make sure I do on a regular basis. And getting to 10,000 is really, really wonderful because it does allow you to direct people straight to where you want them to go. Like swipe up and join my challenge group, swipe up, fill out my form, swipe up and buy this new shirt I got today. Like my people love that. When I give them, I love that. If I go to somebody's Instagram page and they're like wearing the cutest dress, and they're like, you got this dress, it's so cute, it's from Lulu's, swipe up and get yours. And I'm like, heck yeah. And I swipe up and I'm like shopping from stories. Oh my gosh, don't follow Beachy Dolls. I friggin' have like bought packages over and over and over again from that dang, I had to unfollow Beachy Dolls, which is, it tells me something as a marketer. My degree is in marketing. It tells me something that people are willing to like swipe up and go do something if you keep it super simple for them. And so I literally have done all my shopping on swiping up on Beachy Dolls, which is really bad. So that's why I unfollowed them. One of my favorite quotes is, when you know the conversation and your customer's head, you've won. So think about that when you're creating content for your stories. Like what do your people in this season right now in April, I was about to say March, in April, what is your ideal customer, ideal coach, what are they thinking about right now? Before they were a coach, before they were a challenger, what are they struggling with? What are they stressing about? Is it money? Is it swimsuits? Is it going into the closet and not being able to put their jeans on? They got muffin top hanging out and cellulite down their legs. Are they going into Target and trying on bathing suits because that's where they like shop, because that's what mama girl can afford? They're going to go to Target, get the swimsuit. I'm not hating on that. Like I buy Target, but I can afford the expensive swimsuit because they have really cute ones. But then they go in the Target dressing room and they got cellulite down their legs and the lighting is terrible. Like think about those things, because you can talk about that content and it's going to ring home with people, and they're going to be more apt to buy into what you are offering, whether it's challenge group or coaching, if you know what's in their mind. Share your journey, stay on topic, have some major themes. I have my major themes, which I'm going to cover in a minute. Have fun, be creative. Bailey, she's creative. Do call to actions like crazy, be consistent, learn new features, follow Instagram. Follow them, because every time a new feature comes out, it's so funny. A new feature will come out and I'll use it and people message me and they're like, how do you do that? And I'm like, yeah, Instagram just put it out. So make sure you follow them, and then be super intentional. Don't post product names. Don't. I have very strategic product placement when I put it in my stories, and I never let anybody see what that black bag says on the front or what my black tub thing says on the front. I make sure that it's always turned around. Getting off topic, too off topic, don't be a rando. Like, rando is really like, I'm just making up words. If you got a dog magazine, if I got a French Bulldog magazine, I was like, I'm going to get this and see all the cute dogs and all the cute accessories I can buy. And then all of a sudden in my cute dog magazine, all I'm seeing is like wine advertisements. I'd be like, what? I don't care about this. So make sure you stay on topic because people come to you for a reason. Poor sticker placement. I see this way too much. Y'all, I'm actually getting into that like minimalism of my stories. Like, I'm tired of seeing stuff all over the story. It's very cheesy. So let's like simmer it down just a little bit. Let's put it like strategically there, make it clean. But like you see here in the examples, dark lighting, stickers everywhere. Nobody cares that what T25 done mean. Like, what the heck does that mean? Rando person coming on your story is not going to know what T25 done means. And so that doesn't really make an impact or a splash. And then, of course, I said, don't talk to forever. And the filters. Okay, let's talk about the filters for a second. The bunny ears are cute when you don't have a good makeup day. I get it, but it's a little weird. So use them for fun. If you're looking at your baby or your dog or whatever, and it's funny, yes, but don't hide behind them to talk about your challenge group. I really think it's distracting, and I feel like you should be confident in what you look like and just roll with it. Use the sparkles if you want to like gloss and just scan over. And swipe over to Paris because Paris makes you look even better. All right. How to effectively share product. How are we doing on time? My team's going to be like, where are you? How to effectively share product without being salesy. I branded Energize #MomCrack, and I have gotten so much flack from Beachbody community for that word, but I started it and I'm rolling with it and they can just suck it. I'm just kidding. Somebody talked about it on the Beachbody Champions page. Like, I hate whoever created that stupid term. I'm so tired of seeing it. And I'm like, sorry, it was me. I'm rolling with it now. I'm kind of like, I see how it's weird. Whatever. For me, it meant that I was a mom who was tired, and it gives me like cray energy, and I can crush it. And so here is a way to share whatever product it is, whether it's Shakeology, Energize, Beach Bars, all of that, BOD. You can share that product without being a salesy person. So my very first story, it's 5:48 in the morning. I sleep in makeup sometimes because that's the next day, smoky eye. And I'm tired, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. It's 5:48 in the morning, but I'm going to get downstairs. I got my workout clothes on. I'm going to work out. 15 seconds, right? Next story, product placement, Energize, turned around. I'm talking about my mom crack because I don't even say Energize because I don't want them to Google it. I want them to message me this message that I get very often, by the way. What's mom crack? And is it legal? I'm like, yes. Really? You think I want to put stuff in there that's not legal? So I turn my product around. I have a name for it. It's branded towards me because I'm a mom, and it makes me cray. And I am cray in my stories. So if you're not a like wild crazy person, calling it like mom crack wouldn't make sense. They'd be like, okay, Melanie, mom crack, really? And so I talk about in this story, I'm trying to get my mom crack. I'm going to get this in, and I know I'm going to be able to crush my workout. Next story, I'm crushing my workout. It's a cause and effect. That's marketing right there. You got to show somebody the effect of what it's doing for you. And they don't even realize that I'm showing them cause and effect of a product that I want them to buy. I'm doing it very tactfully, right? But intentionally in my story. And so the last one is usually like Usher playing, and it's like, yeah, and I'm dancing around Time to Slay. So that's a great way to share a product without being salesy. And they don't even realize, like I said, that I am trying to present this product to them where they ask me about it. I'm actually just sharing it very tastefully. We'll scroll through this because these are call to actions. They're very, very outdated. I feel like Bailey makes me look like a chump. But I'm getting it together, getting it. This is something that we don't always do, but I think it's super important. This is really ugly and old, and you can do it much better now. But FOMO is where it's at. You guys, FOMO works like a charm. No matter whether you want to do it as cheese ball as this, and I'm not cheese ball. If you want to start like this and you just want to type it in your notepad, do that. But as you get better, you'll start finding the fun ways to do it and making it look even prettier. But screenshotting when somebody's like, I'm in, I'm interested. What if I don't have a big social media following? Screenshotting those things, covering their face, covering their name, saying she's in, saying she got the 4th spot, answering their objection. If they're like, I don't know, I'm kind of interested in coaching, but I don't think I have enough like social media following. Like, girl, go in the next story, screenshot that objection, go in the next story and say, she didn't think she has a big enough social media following. That's not what it's about. What it's about is, and then share what coaching is for you. Some top apps. A lot of you guys probably use this. You don't really need Cut Story anymore. I use HypeType all the time. I'll describe it here in a minute, my next slide. I use Unfold, which makes it a little bit prettier. Bailey taught me about, I don't even know what the name of it is now. Hold on. What is it, Bailey? Mojo? You guys use Mojo? Okay. I'm learning. And then I found one today.
There's Story Art too. That's our new favorite.
Okay, Story Art. I found one today. If you don't follow this chick, you should, because she's super good. And what she does is, I'll give you her name. Her name is Alex Beadon, AlexBeadon. Her content is totally different than ours. Like, she's selling like business marketing or how to market on IG. Just cool. You can go take her. I don't know. I haven't taken her stuff, but what I do see is little ideas. And so what I'll do is I'll like screenshot, like, here's like her talking about how she's going to go live with somebody. I'm like, how cute is that? She like put it in the little thing, and she's just super creative. So that's a great way. If you're like, I'm not a creative person, go find somebody who is, watch what they're doing and see, like, screenshot it, put it in a folder on your phone, save it so that you can pull it back later and get some ideas. But she gave me a new app today. And what was it called? I asked her directly. I'm like, dude, how did you do that? And she told me, hold on, my Instagram's going cray. Where's Alex Beadon? There she is. I said, how did you add the video? Because she did this little thing right here. I'm like, wait, how'd you do that? Right? I'm like, what? And she said, I edited it in Final Cut Pro and uploaded it in here. I don't know what that is. I got to go look it up. Final Cut Pro. But I would go follow her because she really just has some beautiful ability. Like, if you're doing a giveaway, like, just copy and stuff like that. And you're like, I wouldn't think to layer it like that. It's so cute. So cute. Anyways, I'll stop there. Go check her out. Like I said, I'm not promoting her. I'm just saying that I like her creativity. And when you see somebody who's creative at something, it gives you opportunity to get ideas. Oh, this thing is so jacked up. I love Word Swag. I love Snapseed. I use Snapseed to make my photos pop. I use Lightroom. I have presets that I bought off Etsy. Alexa Jane, I think is her name. That's where I got my presets. It can be a little overwhelming.
Sorry, something went wrong. Please try again later.
That's that's funny right there. Did you guys get that? We gotta like record that because that was really funny. HypeType, I use those for my workout moves because I can add any music to it. So if I were to type in the word shake, it would bring up like every song that has the word shake in it, which is in the title. And so it's just great. And I can choose what I want. Country Girl Shake It, or shake it like a Polaroid picture. And I can use it as I'm shaking my shake up. And then it puts words on there with different fonts, and you can have it pop in and out. And it just makes the stories look kind of fun and cool. But most importantly, and I'll look at the questions before I jump on my next call in 10 minutes, is don't be vanilla on IG. Be you. Be intentional, be creative, have fun. Most importantly, be follow worthy. Like, have your show, have your commercials, do proper product placements, and make sure you're just sharing from your heart and being you. That is my biggest takeaway for you guys, is share your heart. Don't just like go through your stories throughout the day and not actually give some solid content. Even today, I did my stories. I was endured most of the day and felt like crap, but I took a moment to share my heart. And it was so simple. There was no graphics to it. It was me just talking straight to my girl. So go watch my stories and check that out. That is like bare minimum. And you can do that at any point, any day, even when you're feeling like crap on the side of your bed. So let me unshare. Back to you guys. Any questions? I'm like trying to, oh good, you guys type things out for me. Love it. Well, you all like the call. I'm so weird. I'm sorry.
Do you mind sending me that PowerPoint?
Sure.
Thank you. It was so good. I loved it.
Absolutely.
If anyone wants to unmute yourself and ask her question before she hops off really quick, we don't want to take up her time. So if you have a question, just unmute yourself.
I have a question.
Courtney's a girl. Are you a sapphire, Courtney?
I am not. I'm actually a ruby.
Oh, okay, I'm a ruby too. Just kidding.
No way. When's your birthday?
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant like gym tests.
Oh, I have no idea what gym test I am.
Okay, sorry. Squirrel, go.
Who knows? How do you make the the rings around your picture, and can you like make them yourself and change colors?
Alex Beeden actually gave me that ring that she made it in Photoshop.
Okay.
I'm not tech savvy.
You could just put it in Canva and then put your picture in the middle.
Yeah. If you want to make it a different color, I don't know how you'd make it, but I'm sure you could.
Sweet. Thanks.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now I'm going to do a gym test because I want to know which one I am.
Oh, another thing that I didn't touch on in my presentation that's really valuable is how to build following besides being really consistent and building your community. I do follow hashtags like hashtag blonde bob, hashtag hair extensions, hashtag platinum blonde. I try to stay away from anything fit mom, boss girl, boss babe, blah, 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 right? Because that's what everybody else does. So for example, hashtag blonde bob, because I used to have a blonde bob. I have hair extensions and it's in there somewhere. But I used to follow that hashtag and I would go and look through everybody who used it and the population that it showed up or that shows up under it. And I'd find a girl who has like 16 likes with her hair like beach wave, and I would like it, follow her, and then I would comment like, oh my gosh, girl, like I can't do a beach wave in my hair to save my life. How did you do it? And making connections that way. Another thing that I like to do is I will follow stores that I like. So I like Vici dolls. I like Lulu's, and I had to unfollow Vici dolls. But I will go to their page. I did this for my team the other night, and they were like, what? I had a girl was like, I can't people, and I'm like, let me go to Lulu's right now. I find a cute outfit that I like. Okay, this dress, super cute, right? And then I go to all the people that commented on that dress. There's 90 comments. Some of them are Lulu's. Then I find a girl who looks like a normal picture, not like a boutique or a store. All right, let's see this chick. Oh yeah, all right, I got one right now. Sweets431, what you think of this one? She tagged her girlfriend. Like, that's my kind of girl who likes the dress, and she's tagging her girlfriend. So I go to her profile. Okay, cute. She's got a dog. Come on, next future coach right here. She's gonna be on my team. Scroll through some of her pictures, try to find something that's relatable. There's a dog on there. I'm not making this up. It's just showing up. I'm gonna like the picture. I'm gonna follow her. What else does she have here? Finally got a baby bless swag. I don't know what that is. And so the journey begins. Okay. I'm going to comment and say, oh my gosh, that shirt is super cute. I need one. It is super cute. I need one. I do this 30 times a day, no matter what. I go find 30 girls that look just like somebody that I would be friends with on IG or just friendship-wise. I find something on their page that I can connect with organically, naturally, and I comment and make connections. I did that for one girl that I'm now she watches all my stories, interacts with me, and she's going to be a challenger in my next challenge group. And how did I find her? I found her on Vici Dolls. I went to her page. She had a dog. I commented on her dog thing, and I asked her a question like, I'm getting a new puppy, and she had a puppy as well. And I said, what did you guys do? Did you crate train? I'm like a random stranger messaging her this. But we start talking about how to crate train the dog. Now she follows all my stories, and she is in my challenge group sneak peek, and I know girlfriend is about to get a challenge back. So do that. Give yourself a goal. If 30 is too much, then 5 a day, 3 a day, something every single day so you can check it off that you are starting to make new connections. You have new people following your stories. So you never have a reason to say, there's nobody new to ask. Yes. Who are all the girls that you're following on whatever story you like, right? Super easy to find people there. All right, I'm done. Wait, what time is it? I'm not done. I got 3 minutes. Any other questions?
Anybody else? No? Oh, Lisa M. Here,
Lisa.
I unmuted you. Go ahead.
So is there an easy way to find out how to do the swipe up, swipe down? Is that one of the apps that you had shown us how to do that? To swipe up something? I'm so new to Instagram and stories.
Okay. What do you mean by swipe up, swipe down?
Like when you post a picture and you swipe up to join or swipe up to buy this shirt.
Oh, okay. You have to have 10,000 followers to do that.
Oh, well, that's.
But you can get there. You can get there. If I can get
I'm floating between, I think it's like 392 and 405. Like it fluctuates right there.
Yep.
All right. Okay, that's cool.
You can.
I missed that part of it. So.
Yeah, it's 10,000, and that should be one of your goals. After that, it's all just, one of my coaches said to me once, and I hope she's on this call because she'll kick me in the face for saying, I won't say her name. She said to me, I don't know, I can't find any coaches. I'm having a hard time finding working coaches. And I said, okay, you may be really brutally honest with you. And she said, sure. How many people did you ask to coach today? She's like, none. I'm like, why are you telling me you can't find coaches and you didn't ask anybody to coach today? Get it, girl. Then she says, and this is how it pertains to this presentation. Then she says, but my engagement's down, like nobody's watching, nobody's liking my stuff. And I'm like, do you know what engagement means? Engagement means you are banking on somebody asking you. Screw that. Don't wait on people to ask you. Engagement's fantastic. Engagement is a good indicator that you're doing something right. But you've got to still get in your inbox. You can't just post on your stories and expect people to come flocking to your group. You got to make sure you are still in people's inboxes and making connections and talking to them. All right? Love you guys.
Thank you.
I'm on my team call now.
Thank you.
Bye.